Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. This new moon chart shows the Sun, Moon and Venus all in the very first degree of Scorpio. And before I say anything else, what has struck me is that apart from the fact that it means that the Sun will be in Scorpio for the whole of this Sun-Moon cycle, the whole of this month, but looking ahead, the next 4 new moons also will be in the very first degree of their signs. What this means is that all of us, each new moon, are being dropped entirely without preparation into the next sign. Generally speaking, the Sun gets to the sign before the Moon joins it, so we have a little introduction. But right up until March, we have one new moon after another suddenly in the next sign following. So we're liable to feel a lurching happening each month as we move from one mood to another. Very clearly, if we can take this as steps in a flight of stairs going up and learn as much as we can, use as much as we can the sign that the Sun is going through to its best, then each sign following lifts us to the next level of development. Anything we leave undone in one sign is going to hold us back a bit in the next, and so on, like sort of so many weights that we attach to ourselves in climbing. And there's another thing. Every now and then this does happen at different degrees of signs. And of course, whatever degree the new moon is in, or the full moon, come to that, if you have a planet at that degree, then it's going to affect you more than people who don't. It doesn't even have to be in the same sign, because in other signs there will be an aspect to the new moon or the full moon. And every now and again we do have a row of new moons and full moons in the same degree. Generally speaking, though, it's always just a degree or two further back through the zodiac. This time, if you have any planet at 0 degrees or, for the full moon, 14 degrees of any sign, you will have these new beginnings and their follow-up fullnesses hitting that particular planet of yours. 5 in a row is a lot. So just to sort of put that a bit more simply, if you have any planet at 0 degrees or 14 degrees of any sign, you're liable to find the next 5 months intensely growthful. Probably quite surprising. So now to this particular chart and this particular month. Being dropped in the deep end of Scorpio is very much the deep end of our emotions and the emotions of the world and all those things that go on under the surfaces. It's as though the surface of the water reflects the light or reflects the surroundings, and it doesn't reveal what's underneath. Scorpio is where we scuba dive underneath and have a look. And with Saturn still in Scorpio, we are already focused on the truth at that deeply underlying level, that foundational level. With the new moon there, it makes it personal. And I think a most delightful thing is that Venus is there too, ensuring that it's our relationships that we look at, our ability to give and receive love, our caring of ourselves and others. Very, very foundational for anything else one might choose to do in life. There's a beautiful trine to Neptune showing that it is the truth that will be rising. With Neptune retrograde, sometimes we take that against ourselves. So it's very, very important not to get critical, self-critical, and not to blame ourselves or others, but just to see what's there. With it being Venus, the energy is suggesting more nearly compassion and kindness. And Venus is making a really sweet aspect to Mars in Sagittarius. This will be, I think, a deliberate exploration for many. We'll want to know what's going on there. We'll be prepared to find different ways of solving our relationship issues. Added to this is the fact that Mercury is in Libra. It retrograded out of Scorpio last month and has been going through Libra for quite a while now, going across the North Node, Mercury being our communication, Libra aiming for diplomacy, trying not to upset people, and in a couple of days about to go direct. By the 9th of November, Mercury will again be in Scorpio for the rest of this cycle. Not so much worrying then about not rocking the boat, really intensely clear about getting to the truth of things. Insofar as the new moon chart sets a seal on the whole month, the fact that Mercury is sextiling Jupiter in Leo is very lovely also, showing a very broad-minded approach and a desire to lift the mood, to see the positive in things, to make the most of situations, even difficult situations. Jupiter is at right angles to Saturn. Sometimes what you get with that is an exaggerated sort of lurching from one side to another. So it's quite possible, it seems to me, that we might get really intensely into the difficulties and then get to share and see the funny side or the positive side to make some use of it. So it's a kind of dipping into the emotional depths and then bringing the information out, the experience, bringing it out into the light. It feels a bit like cleaning out the pond to me, getting down there with a shovel and cleaning it out. The full moon on the 6th of November shows a beautiful cradle of aspects where the Sun and Venus join in with Neptune and Chiron and Pluto, and the moon, of course, joining in as well. Mars by then will have moved into Capricorn, very close to Pluto. This looks like spade work, very effective. Most of the energy of the chart working together. And even Uranus having a quincunx to the Sun. In a way, that ability to hold to one's own viewpoint, being a valuable thing in dialogue with others. It's us having the courage to stand by our truth alone if necessary. That lurching from the spade work to the time off or the enjoyment, the party mood, it shows up even more with all those squares to Jupiter. But maybe we can bring that joy into the work, putting our hearts into getting to the truth and enjoying the process for its own sake. And so this sun-moon cycle continues until the 22nd of November, with the next new moon at 0 degrees Sagittarius. Not really jumping in at the deep end, that's very much the Scorpio image. This is leaping out halfway up the mountain in one bound. There is one more thing I wanted to alert people to, and that is that Jupiter is coming to the end of its forward-moving time of the year. It spends about 9 months going direct, and that is promoting growth and expansion and so on. And then 4 months retrograding. The retrograding starts in December. And what I wanted to say is, I think we could be making the most of forward movement. So rather than lurching into the fun side of life and putting off the work, it really would serve us to keep going with this forward movement, because things may well slow down or lie fallow for a period from December onwards. Now, this doesn't mean scrambling to get everything done, but it does mean not putting things off unnecessarily. So, this month, be honest, be kind to yourself as well as others, and enjoy this process of clearing our history in emotional relationships. At the centre of every storm in life is a still, quiet place. Come to this home inside yourself and meet in this sanctuary the world of love and compassion for every day. Let an inner smile begin in the heart of your being and spread throughout your body, rippling through the cells, inspiring, enlivening, invigorating, until you feel moved towards your next action. Let that smile be like an angel round your shoulders, sharing its love with the world.